Ryan, you co-hosted Ambek, not me. So yung Ambek and Ariel is not me. That's Ambek. So okay, thank you.
Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome everyone to Career Crash Course by CZG. I'd like to welcome especially those who are here for the very first time. My name is John L. Banyas, and I'll be your co-host MC for this evening. And as I've said, welcome to everyone and those who have introduced themselves on the chat room. Welcome. I'll be greeting some of you who are in the chat room. Just some guidelines in this webinar. You may use the chat room as you wish. You can chat with your friends. You can chat with your teammates or relatives here. If you have relatives in the webinar, and you can also use the reaction buttons if you have some comments or reactions regarding this talk or this webinar. We will be muting everyone for sound quality, but you may open your video if you wish. You can show your video, or you can do a thumbs up on the video if you like what you're seeing. And for those who have already introduced themselves, I'd like to welcome first uh, Titus, who have started to chat a while ago, and welcoming Russell. Uh, and we also have uh, Rico Santos. Dr. Rico is a physician from Marikina. Welcome to this webinar. We have Sharice Yap, who is from Davao. Welcome. So we have people from different areas of the country and also outside the country. Welcome, Alex, and he welcomes also Marielle. Welcome, Delio, who is from Baguio City, and Jane Banyas is my mom from Manila. I'm from Manila as well. Zersa, okay, good evening. She's from Davao as well. We have a lot of friends from the south right now. Okay, we also have Kay Mendoza. Okay, she's welcoming Mark Lawrence. Okay, and they're from Italy. Okay, buonasera. I hope I got that correct. And yeah, so Marielle is welcome here, and she's from Caloocan, no? And Sharice is welcoming teammates from NetZone Tech joining in for the first time. Levi, Melvin, Rihanna, June Ray, Zay, Stephen, and still logging and the other streams right now. We are live here in Zoom and also in Facebook Live and YouTube. So don't worry if you get disconnected or you have a bad connection. you can always do a replay of this webinar. But tonight we are live. We are very much live, and you'll be greeting some of your friends in a while. But I don't want to take much of the time of our friends. Will be chatting and greeting a lot. There's too many streams right now. I apologize. I can't mention all of you. We will be taking up the time of our speaker, but do make use of the chat rooms in both in the Facebook Live and the YouTube chat live, and also this Zoom. But if you do have questions, you just chat it on the chat box. I'll be forwarding it to our speaker tonight. And tonight, we are very fortunate because somebody who is uh, very successful in our industry is going to talk about this book review habits, which are very, very powerful. So it's Atomic Habits. That's the title. No, sa title pa lang, it's really explosive. By background, our speaker is actually a business owner, a leadership coach, and he's also a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt coach. It's not martial arts, by the way. It's a type of discipline in the corporate. It's a certification also for those who are in corporate. You'll be able to understand if you're in the same line. So I don't want to take much of his time. It's a very, very exciting speaker. He's a passionate leader and a very good friend to many. So please help me welcome Ariel Driz. Hi,
Hi,
Ariel.
hi, Jonel. Thank you for the kind words. Can you hear me well?
Yep.
Okay. Sige, tonight I'll be talking about atomic habits. I'd like to welcome all those here for the first time, and those are the regulars here. I'm excited to talk about this book. We have so much topics to cover actually, but I only have I don't have all night. I should be finished by 40 minutes. So I'll be going through the slides in a quite a brisk fashion because I'd like to cover as much of the book because it's very useful and it's helping me a lot lately. Now, Atomic Habits was written by a guy named James Clear, and this is a bestseller, a best-selling book, and it's widely acclaimed to be one of the best prescriptive books to change your habits. There are books like Habits by Charles Duhigg, which is very good. It lays down the foundation for habits. But this one says nothing really new. Well, that's the review. But what's new about this is the practical things that you want to do to be able to change your habits. Now, what are habits? Yes, according to James, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. If you want to improve yourself, you need to change your habits. The little habits that you change, any incremental change can create massive results for you. For example, if you change 1% every single day, for every day, 1%, you will end up with you will end up at the end of the year have improved 37 times, 37x. It's like 3700. If you multiply it, that so little changes in habits really mean a lot. On the contrary, if you are digressing by 1%, by the end of the year, you would have used up your ability to be able to get anything done. So habits are very important. This is James Clear's caricature. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Now, another one, success is a product of daily habits, not a once in a lifetime transformation. If you want to change your life, I have bad news for you. You cannot do it overnight. It is the accumulation of all good and bad habits, good habits done little by little every single day. So every day you have a choice. Do you want to build your positive habits and negative habits? Actually, James Clear actually asked the leaders of his book to list down all our habits. Do a habits inventory. And in one side, create your positive habits, list out and create your negative habits. The key is you want to reduce your negative habits and improve your positive habits. And you can do that every single day. So what are habits? Habits are behaviors, activities you do automatically without thinking. Okay, the key thing about habits, it's like automation. When you acquire a certain habits, you automated the habits. And those who are in IT, they know that, because when you automate a task, what happens, you actually free up your cognitive brain. It frees up your brain because there is not much activity. So the key is you need to think about what are the habits that will get me to success. For us in business, us who are building our business, we need to create habits that build our businesses every single day. If you're working on your career, the same thing. However, there are certain habits that you can already automate, or there are certain behaviors, activities you already automate by acquiring the habit. Okay, now, when you acquire the habit, you free up your brain. Next, progress is not made overnight. Now, here's the thing about habits. When you change your diet, okay, when you start eating right, it does not mean you're going to lose weight right away. It it seldom does. I don't know if you do lose weight, you're doing something, something wrong. So, but progress in health, in our careers, do not happen overnight. If you do the right things, okay, initially you will go through what you call the valley of disappointment. Parang nothing is happening. Yun ang problema sa habits eh. Valley of disappointments. That because you're expecting a linear growth. The problem is it does not happen that way. You need to build the momentum. You have to go through what you call the dip, according to Seth Godin. That is the valley of disappointment. But after a certain point in time, the compound interest of your habits will suddenly kick in. So my suggestion to you, if you're going to start a habit, don't look first for the results. Okay, the results will come later. Now, in the book Atomic Habits, it also addresses that. Our brains are programmed for instant gratification, not delayed gratification. So the nice thing about this book is that it does tell you how to handle that valley of disappointment. Okay, next. Number three, you fall to the level of your system. What do I mean by that? This is a classic phrase of James Clear. If there's any phrase you want to remember in this book, it's this. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Uh, I've been, all my life, career life, the times I've been in the zone in my career, in our business, I would be, I'd be hustling, I'd be going after the goal and all that. And the great thing about that, goals tell you where to go, and goals, tend to push you to achieve, you know, achieve beyond yourself. However, okay, when you let go, you it does not it does not stay fixed. The real performance will fall to the level of your system. So, what does it mean? You need to fix the systems. For us individuals, our systems are our habits. Okay? Our systems are our habits. We need to fix our habits so we can actually attain the levels we want to attain. Because everything, your goal will push you farther, but when you let go, when it relaxes, it goes to the level of your system. So you want to improve the level of your systems. Now, there's the one thing about goals. Goals, did you know when two teams play basketball, both of them, their goal is to win. It makes sense? In a tennis match, in a race, okay, all participants, especially when you go to the Olympic level, their mentality, their visualization is always winning. There's no athlete will say, no, I visualize to lose. Nobody. Everybody visualize to win. So what was the difference? Okay, somehow visualization, visualization is nice, and this is what, but I think that's the first part. But the next thing is you need to go to the second part. Okay? Not yet the second part. Another thing about goals. Goal is only a monetary change. Even if you attain your goal, it is temporary. It is really temporary. You need to continuously have a goal for you to continuously move up. And that could be a problem because number three, goals restrict your happiness. Goals do restrict your happiness. Goals create a dichotomy. Etong problema, if you meet your goal, you're very happy. If you don't meet your goal, you're very sad. Okay? Especially those who like to win, like me, winners, we're very sore losers. Okay? The thing is this, uh, you need to enjoy the process of going for the goal. But if you're focused on the goal is the only reason why you're happy. And probably you miss the whole point. Now, another thing about the goal, ito, this is I have to research on James Clear. He spoke one time and he said, when you play basketball, you play football, you don't look at the scoreboard every time. You look at it once in a while to see if you're winning or not. But if you look at it every time, I have one thing to tell you, you're not gonna win. Okay? What you do is you play according to your game plan, according to your strategy. Okay? So the process the process will produce the goal. The process will produce the result. Now here's the thing. If you do not know the score, but if you played well and you played perfectly, do you think you're gonna win? He said, I can bet you're gonna win. Even if you're not focused on the goal, but you're focused on the process, the right process, and you have the right habits, you're gonna win. Inevitable, you're gonna win. Now, that's a little bit of a paradigm shift to what I was looking at. I was talking to my coach, Mike Wilson, the one who recommended me this book, and he said, yeah, I agree totally with him. So there's a shift in that. Okay, now number four, habits shape your identity. Habits do shape your identity. Now, the way we normally change our habits is outside in. What do I mean? We're focused on outcomes. From the outcomes, this is my goal, and this is the process I need to go to, and the process hopefully changes my identity. Like if I want to be a champion, okay, that's the goal, win the championship. Then I need to know the process to win the championship. And when we win the championship, I'm now a champion. Now, here's the problem. For you who have habitualized being a champion, that's always what you say. Okay? But for normal people who's trying to change your life, when you try to change yourself from outside in, it's gonna be very hard because we have all sorts of triggers. If you want to lose weight, okay, and you say, my goal is to lose weight, to lose 30 pounds, and I need to follow this diet so I can be a slim man. Okay. Now, what happens? This is where people start to, you know, compromise with the goal, and this is where people lose. Now what he's saying is, psychologically, what is better is you go from inside out. Instead of saying, I'm trying to lose weight, what if you start with your identity? See yourself as somebody who's healthy, and see yourself as somebody who's fit and slim. Okay, that process, that mentality will start to change your behavior, and will start to change your outcome. So instead of saying, no, I'm trying to quit smoking, no, you can say, no thanks, I'm a smoker. Okay, we have a program called Health Point, which in wherein we it's a program that allows you to lose weight, and I actually lost 50 pounds. From 211, I went down to about 150, more than 50 pounds actually. uh, and when I start to think about it, I was effective. Actually, I did not set a goal to how many pounds I'm gonna lose. I'm just saying, you know, I'm going to be, I told myself, I'm going to be a health point coach. Okay. I started to see myself, I'm a health point coach. So if you see yourself as a health point coach, what happens? I started to change, I don't even negotiate with the price. I started to change my process. I just followed, I'm going to follow the program because I'm a coach. Okay. I started to follow the program and the outcomes came in. So the goal is it's not to read the book, but become a reader. Okay, I'm a reader. And when you're a reader and you really say, okay, I'm a reader, that's where the more effective change come in. I'm not going to get an A in organic chemistry. This is for medical doctors. But I become an excellent student. The goal is not to bike 100 miles, but to become a cyclist. I was talking to my coach, Mike Wilson. You know what he says? He said, I don't even worry about do I have to eat this? I have to do it. I see myself as an athlete. Okay. Honestly, I don't see myself as an athlete. I have to work on that mentality of mine. The last time I've been an athlete was grade five. I actually played for the varsity grade five for football. Uh, from a sports perspective, everything went downhill from that. Now I'm working on that. But if I see myself as an athlete, guess what we're gonna do? So what James Clear is saying is that it's more effective to see yourself as something, okay, so that you will act accordingly. Now, there's what you call cognitive dissonance. Never say, I'm bad at math, because it creates a conflict in your brain. But if you say, I'm an excellent student, so math is one of those. I remember when I entered university, I was never really an A student in math. I took up electronics engineering. Electronics engineering, they say, is the hardest math in the engineering, at least in the university I came. So, but the thing is, I told myself, no, you're gonna love math because mahal yung tuition fee. We were not rich, and I told myself I'm not gonna give extra burden to my parents. So when somebody told me, "Uy, lumag-shift ka na," what I told myself, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be an engineer, and I'm gonna love math. That's it. Okay. Little did I know that was something in my brain that told myself that there is no option. I'm not going to I'm not going to negotiate the price. Another one is never say I'm not a morning person. You can say I'm a morning person. Okay? When you say that because I'm a morning person, you get to change your identity. How do you get to change your identity? Little by little. You don't need big habits to change your identity. Now, for example, if you want to be a writer, I'm a writer. You write one page a day. What it does, it reinforces your identity. The next day, when you write another line, it doesn't have to be one page. It could be 3 lines. It reinforces, oh, I'm a writer. Okay. The next day, you write again and you write again. Little by little, that identity starts to form. The identity actually feeds on the little actions, and the little actions feed on the identity. Okay? It doesn't have to be big actions. One little action. So the first thing is you need to decide what person you want to be. The next one is you need to prove yourself with small wins. All you need to do is to have small wins. Okay? Now, let's talk about and those are the small habits. Let's talk about habits 101. Okay. What is the purpose of the habits? It is to automate desired activities so that you can free up your brain. When you go to a certain place, let's say your classroom or your office, okay, first time, you have to use your cognitive brain to be able to go there. Diba? Especially, alam mo sa America, when you drive for the first time, you go to a place that I can, in the Philippines, I can drive anywhere, but you go to another country, even if it's more, I get intimidated. So the first time you're in a location, mahirap. Okay? So you go to an office, parang, you know, you you're always you're always hustling. But After you've gone there a couple of days, let's say for a class, you don't even have to think about it. You just automatically go there, automatically go there. Like first time you ever drove a car, di ba? Remember those who are driving, di ba? Parang it's so scary. But after a while, you can eat your snack and still drive, no problem. Okay, you don't even think about it because it went to the habit stage. Now, let's talk about forming habits is actually what you call discipline. The art of acquiring habits or proactively acquiring habits is what they call discipline. Sabi ay naku, habits. Baka naman I will not be free. Puro I'm a creature of habit. Well, actually, discipline is free. When you grasp, if you have no habits and you have no control of your habits, you have no freedom because you cannot attain the goals you want to attain or your aspirations. If you have no financial you have no grasp on your habits, you have freedom. You have no financial habits or proper habits, you're always short on cash. You know discipline, no freedom. No healthy food and exercise habits, you're all constantly lethargic. You don't have energy. The process of acquiring habits proactively, which is equal to discipline, will equal to your freedom. So let's talk about the habit cycle. Ano ba yung habit cycle? There are four stages of the habit cycle. Number one, there's cue, there's craving, there's response, and reward. Okay? Example, yung cue is you. Let's talk about exams. Ito, MCAT. This is Dr. Rico and Dr. Roel. Pang doktor to eh. You reach a difficult problem in your exam studying. So you're stressed out, okay, studying. Now, second is cravings. Cravings is when you feel stuck and you want to relieve your frustration. Okay, one is the cue. You get frustrated what you're studying. Next is you want to relieve that. The third one is response. You pull out your iPhone and check Instagram kasi nai-stress ka eh. So you pull out Instagram and guess what happens? You're able to satisfy your craving and feel relief. Okay? But the problem with this habit is it does not solve your problem. Am I making sense? Because you only relieve your stress. That's the reason why, Instagram, Facebook, social media, everybody's there because it relieves a certain frustration. Okay. Now, how do we change that? I'm not trying to tell you, huwag na kayo mag-social media. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, too much of that, if you do social media and it does not give you value for your aspirations, maybe we may want to change that. Okay. There are four laws of change. How do you change my behavior? How do I change my habits? This is where the book actually stands out from the common books because he actually gives you some examples. Okay. The first one is how to create a good habit. The first law is the cue, di ba? Ano yung cue what is the habit cycle? Cue, cravings, response, and reward, right? So the cue, what do you make? You want to make the cues obvious. You want to have the right cue and make it obvious. Okay? You want to trigger the right thing to make it obvious. The next one, the second law is you want to make the right habit attractive. You want it to be attractive. You want to make it obvious, attractive. The third law is you want the good habit to be easy. The key word here is friction. You want to apply less friction. It should be easy. Okay? The fourth law is reward. You want to make the good habit satisfying. Okay? Now, that is going to be a challenge because most good habits, they reward you after a time. Most bad habits will reward you right away. So, now, how do you break a bad habit? Ito naman, baliktad. For the cue, you want to make the cue invincible. For example, okay, yung telepono mo always distracts you. Okay, I can distract me too when I'm doing something. So I'll give the phone to my wife para siya ma-distract. Biro lang. Parang ganon. You make it invincible. Okay? The next one is the inversion of the second law. Make it unattractive. Okay? Make it so unattractive. No? The next law is for response, you make it difficult. For example, mahilig ka manood ng TV. Okay? Simple things like unplugging it and keeping, ilayo mo yung ano, yung remote control, could be the answer. You have to make it difficult. Okay? Which is actually difficult for me. The fourth law is you have to make it unsatisfying. Okay? That is how you break a habit. So let's go through each one. Now, I'm gonna actually that is the book, but what I'm going to do is elaborate these 8 things. No? The first one is to make it obvious. Ito yung how to create a good habit. Ito yan, a good habit, okay? The first one is to make it obvious, the cue. Okay? Alam nyo, yung mobile phone nyo is, the cues are things that trigger certain habits. Trigger. When you see the phone, okay, lagi nandiyan yan. O, nati-trigger. Every time it buzzes, nagba-vibrate, okay? Remote control is a trigger. It's a cue, okay? When you see cookies, it's a trigger. Di ba? Di ba, Dr. Rico? Yeah, it's a trigger, okay? Now, the key is, okay, in Japan, they have, how do you make, I think this is one of the formulas of making it obvious. In Japan, in the railway system, meron dyan mga stewards. Okay, I don't know how, I forgot what they call. Now, whenever there's something that is happening, what they do is they point and call. Okay, sasabihin nila, the light is green, the doors are open. Actually, if you go to restaurants, make you rin yung mga servers that were trained to do that. I receive 500 pesos, sir. I receive 1,000 pesos, sir. I receive your credit card, sir. It's something that cues their brain to make them aware of something. Cue is about making you aware. Okay? Yun ang ginagawa. That's the first thing. You want to be aware. So that is one principle on making obvious. Point and calling. Okay? Now, from the point calling, okay, James Clear said, to be able to do the making the cue obvious is you want to create what you call the implementation formula. You can tell to yourself, I will do this at this time in this location. Okay? For example, when I create my own, I create my schedule, I will say, I will meditate for 5 minutes at 7 a.m. in my living room. Okay? For me, it's, I will go to Mass online at 7:30 in my study room. Okay? So that, when you say that aloud, it tells your brain, okay, that's my cue. That's my cue. I will do this at 7 a.m. in my living room. Actually, you can do another thing, what you call habit stacking. It is when you if you notice during the day, if you do your habit inventory, you do a habit inventory, there's certain things you will always do. You'll always go to the bathroom. That's a habit. You don't have to think. That's automatic. Okay? To me, my habit is in the morning, I go straight, after I go to the bathroom, I go straight to my study room. I always won't do that. Okay? Now, so my habit is when I go here, okay, nakabukas na rin computer, I go to Facebook, I right away do a little step of going to the Manila Cathedral and I'm going to watch the Mass. Okay? And right there and then, I do right away the Mass. Now, after the Mass, I'm able to read the Bible. Kasi magkakadikit yun, di ba? Okay? And I do my other stuff and read and have my alone time, prayer time in that time. So it's a habit cue. What you want to do is do what we call habit stacking. Okay? What is the easiest thing you're going to do after a certain habit you're doing? So you identify your regular habits already. The next one is identify ano habit ang gusto ko ma-acquire. So ang ano ko dyan is the path of least resistance. So what is the most logical thing that I can piggyback my habit on? Am I making sense? Oh yeah, next. So in habit stacking, this is the formula. You may want to say, after a current habit, I will do the new habit. Example, when I serve myself a meal, I will always put veggies on my plate first. Am I making sense? Okay. So you want, when I serve myself a meal, I will always put my veggies first. Okay. Now, actually, yung mga iba, when I do my exercise, okay, I will listen to an audio material at the same time. So I'm stacking my habits. You know, I'm able to do it. It actually triggers, the habit triggers another habit. As I start my exercise, after I start my exercise routine, I start listening to an audio talk. Okay? After I've done my prayer time, I can read 15 minutes a day, 15 minutes of a good book. Okay? As I lay down on my pillow, I will open my book. Okay? So next, so that's the first law. The second law is make it attractive. What makes things attractive? It's a common how should I say this? It's a common chemical hormone called dopamine. Dopamine is something it's your chemical, happy chemical in your body that spikes when you have a reward. You know, when you win a race, you make when you done something and you win a prize, dopamine starts to send and it feels good. But actually, dopamine works even in anticipation of a prize. If you know, if I do this, I'm gonna get this. Di ba? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get this. If I do this over and over again, I'm gonna get this. So the key is you want to get a surge of dopamine during craving time. And the technique that James Clear says is what you call temptation bundling. Okay? Ano yung temptation bundling? Temptation bundling is when you watch, ito Top Gear ang gusto niya, Top Gear or watching TV, he is doing his stretching exercise. Okay? While he's doing, to me, etong ginagawa ko, while I'm watching the youth, kasi my wife just bought a nice big TV screen, you know, in the other room. Maganda eh, no? I get tempted watching YouTube. So what I do is, I watch YouTube of HIIT, high intensity workout, then I do my exercise there. Oh, that's called temptation bundling. Okay? Or while, yung isa naman, yung example sa book, sabi niya, meron siyang stationary bike or treadmill, he connected it to his computer because he loved to do Netflix. Okay? The Netflix show will only turn on if he starts to pedal on his bike. Okay? Tawag doon, temptation bundling. Okay? So you can do the same thing, you know? Uh, uh, yung isa naman, yung ang ginawa naman niya is, well, I'll do that later on. Ito, temptation bonding equation, this is, after current habit, I will do the habit I need. Okay? So meron ka, that's actually habit stacking. But after doing the habit I need, I will do the habit I want. Okay, let's have an example. After I pull out my phone, I will do 10 burpees. This is an exercise burpees. You know what? Don't know what a burpee is? Look it up in the internet. It's a need. Another way to do it is after I do 10 burpees, I can check out my Instagram. Okay? So I can only do my Instagram if I do 10 burpees. Siguro. Or pwede mo sabihin, I will do 10 push-ups before I check out my Facebook. Okay? And that's that you know, that is what you call your temptation bundling. Another way to do that is to be part of a community. Kasi if you're a community, is lahat sila matataba, chances are you'll be obese in no time. You are the product of your environment. But if you're always hanging out people who are slim, fit, chances are you're gonna be dragged along that current. So you need to be in a community wherein the desired behavior is the normal behavior. Okay? Kaya ako nung araw, pagka sa party, nakikibarkada ako doon sa masasaya. Pero pagdating sa aral, nakikibarkada ako doon sa matatalino. Okay. So, so how maybe I thought that was only my own little philosophy, but see that it makes sense. It really does make sense. You know, you are who your friends are. Okay, you are you are the average of the 5 people you're always with. So this is very important. There's a book called Stick With It, Neuro Hacks. There are certain neuro hacks that you can do. Instead of saying, I have to exercise, you say, I get to exercise. And instead of saying, I have to make breakfast, you want to do, I get to make breakfast and I get to wake up early. Now, there was a time when I start, and you believe this or not, uh, our parish, St. Andrew Parish, probably has only one guy to back out on the first reading. Just before reading, ako yun. Because I was about to throw up. I was so nervous. Okay, I threw up. Okay, I couldn't do it. This was in college. College, I was, every time I would speak in front, I I would throw up. Then a lady called Dita Formoso, who became my mentor in public speaking for the first time. She was our consultant in Motorola, and we were going to present all our projects in front of 500 people. Uh, she told me, whenever you feel excited, or if you feel nervous, that is just energy. You just breathe. It's energy. It's energy. And you just got to release. And when I got that paradigm shift, okay, doon ako na-excite. So when you feel that nervousness, it's just energy. Okay? And you convert that energy into something positive. Third law, make it easy. Make it easy. Now, question is, how long does it take to create a habit? Sabi lang, ilang days, 21 days and all that. Actually, it has nothing to do with the number of days. It is everything to do with the number of repetitions. Okay? And for some people, it's 10 repetitions, 20 repetitions, 50 repetitions. It doesn't matter. Okay? But the important thing is repetition. So the key is, for you going to create a habit, don't try to create a habit na mahirap. It has to be easy to do. Okay? If you're going to make a sales call, okay, mas maganda na instead of, and if you're parang you're really nervous to your bones, it's easier to make chika chat on Facebook. Why not chat with 10 people initially? So you get a warm relationship first. That is far better than making five five nervous sales calls that may not be effective. You want to connect. So what you want to do is, instead of forcing through, you want to just to reduce the friction of the good habits. And you want to increase the friction of the bad habits. It's about friction management. I like this, di ba? Tanggalin mo yung friction do sa ano. You make it easy. Do the easy part first. Okay? But move in the right direction. Move in the right direction and take baby steps. A lot of the baby steps would create more results than having one big step na hindi mo na uulitin. Kasi every time you feel punished, you will never repeat that again. When you feel punished, you will never repeat that habit again. The important thing is the small steps that you can do over and over and over again will get you great results. Okay. Now, eto naman, one example. One example for you to be able to go to the gym. So let's say you're in school or in the office, you go to the gym, okay, and you want to go to the gym. You know the critical step in going to the gym? It is the ritual of packing. Ritual of packing. Kasi alam mo, if you pack at night and you bring your gym clothes in the office or in school, it's gonna happen. I remember that time kasi I was trying to lose weight. Our gym was, the Slimmers World was across our office. So when I made the decision, I'm going to do treadmill, and when I was employed, alam mo nangyari, every lunchtime, I go 20 minutes on the treadmill, 20 minutes. Tapos magpapabili lang ako. Ang key is, the critical move is I will ask that small ritual of asking my co-manager, can you buy me a Subway vegetarian sandwich? Yun ang inano ko nun eh, vegetarian sandwich. Pag sinabi ko sa kanya, yun yung trigger. Trigger. And that small ritual actually triggers the whole thing of going to the gym. Kasi when I ask him to buy the food, it already triggers me going to the gym. Okay? The sad thing is, the gym transferred location. it went it went to the mall. So medyo nagkaroon ng friction. Okay, that's another story. But important, if you want to go take a run tomorrow, prepare the things that you're gonna wear in the next day. Yung pinaka-critical doon is the ritual of starting. Bakit ganon? Kasi yun eh, you're actually making it a habit of showing up. Yun ang gusto mo ma-trigger. Showing up first. Showing up first. Okay? Merong isang doon sa book, sinabi niya, sabi niya, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 minutes lang. 5 minutes lang. And he actually did that. 5 minutes lang pupunta sa gym. Pupunta siya every day. He made the practice of showing up to the gym. 5 minutes lang, tapos alis na siya. Then eventually, nandito na rin lang, but hindi pa ako mag-exercise. Okay? And that started the whole thing. It started with a small habit, small ritual. Okay? For example, another one is yung cell phone. If you want to work, the cell phone is your distraction. Put it in another room. In my case, I allow Ambet to use my phone. Okay? She's doing her errands anyway. So that allows me to take my mind off something that will take my mind off my work. Now, this general, sabi niya, you know why it's the most critical aspect of the work today is what? When you wake up, the most critical thing you need to do is to fix your bed. By the way, I don't fix my bed because my wife is still sleeping. No, but sabi niya, you want to fix your bed. Why do you want to fix your bed? Kasi when you fix your bed, you start the day with a good choice. You made the right choice. You want to start your day with the right choice. Kasi during the day, when you start with the right choice, the next, it creates a momentum that you will do the right choice each and every day. Do you know, life in one day is a series of good and bad choices. So if you end up at top, you made a good choice. Para siyang tree diagram. The most key thing is how do you start your day? The small thing that you did right, like making your bed, praying, okay, doing the right thing, okay. That's why I want to go to mass in the morning. It's just me, because it sets the tone of my day. Okay, it also gives you, like, instead of going to McDonald's, you go salad, right? Those are the small choices that you want to do. Okay. In creating a new habit, you want to start with a habit that does not feel like work. Make it easy. Okay? Make it easy. Like, if you're going to make a sales call or prospecting call, and it's too hard for you, why don't you start off by chatting with people? 10 people a day, and it's work, but it doesn't feel work. When it starts to feel like work, you can stop. Okay? The important thing is you want to do it continuously. Okay? Continuously. Okay, the fourth law is making it satisfying. Okay? There is what you call time inconsistency. We all like immediate gratification. Our brain works that way. We're always biased to the present. What gives us better now? But most habits, it's delayed gratification. Okay? It's delayed gratification. Habits that pay off in the long run and habits do not pay off in the long run. Okay? The good habits are the habits that pay off in the long run. Bad habits do not pay off in the long run. But you need to be able to reward yourself, so that you have to frame your mind such that, okay, you are going to reward yourself after you've done the right thing. To me, what I do is, ito dopamine. I have a checklist of things I want to do. these are easy things. I'm gonna call this person. I'm gonna chat with this person. I'm gonna chat with this person. All that. Okay. I'm gonna send this with this. And every time I do the right thing, I will put a tick mark. It sounds corny, but every time, I even grade myself. Even the ones if I completed the ones I needed to do, I get a 10 out of 10, and that's a good day. I'm happy. I can go to sleep. Okay, that gives me a lot of reward. I even have a habit tracker. I'll talk about it if I have time later. May habit tracker ako. I want those dots green. Sounds silly, right? But that's important. The important thing. There is even one salesman. He had two jars. Okay, meron siyang paper clip dito, full of paper clips, and an empty jar. And what he did is every time he made a sales call, he would put one paper clip on the other jar. By the time that a certain time ends, napuno. And by the time napuno yung jar, he was making, I think, if I'm not 75,000 US dollars a year at that time. Today, it's about 150,000 US dollars. So you want to create those types of hacks to be able to reward yourself right away. Incentives start the habit, but identity sustains the habit. Okay? Initially, I would trick myself in getting the habit done. Okay? But eventually, as I look at myself, if I do the right thing, I'm having a big business. No problem. Okay? Because I'm doing the right thing. I am a CEO of my company. When you feel you're a CEO of your company, you feel good about it. Okay? You're CEO of a big company and you're making it happen. Okay? Initially, incentives, you're trying, inahack mo yung sarili mo, but really no, you're just putting yourself dopamine so you can gain momentum. Eventually, the habits become you. The identity drives the habit. So this is one uh, one uh, one app I'm using right now. I'm using Habit Share. The great thing about Habit Share is I can share my habit to the people I'm accountable. I've not done that yet, but I'm doing Habit Share. Kumbaga, it tells you you're being real with yourself. You want those dots green. When you're having a spurt, it will actually propel you. Okay, now I'm gonna end here. Really suggest you guys be there's so much more material in the book. It's like watching a movie, the Harry Potter movie. The movie is nice, but when you read the book, it has more content. With that, maraming salamat po and God bless. Maraming thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Ariel, for that wonderful book review and awesome sharing. And this program of CZG really benefits from the value that you give to everyone in the community, especially those who are just tuning in and for this webinar. And what we have in store actually is a lot more when we go through the other programs that we have. But tonight, a lot of people are actually thanking you, Ariel, for that wonderful talk.
Thank
And maybe we could uh, answer some few questions, or if there are questions, you are free to ask Ariel right now. We're giving
Yeah,
some
may
time
sabi
for
dito,
that.
Romina
Yeah.
workshop next. I suggest, Romina, we don't have much time because it's so much. I wanted to cover so much material, but I'd suggest that you write down your positive habits and negative habits. Okay, and from there you want to make a decision which habits you wanna change. Okay, that and then I really suggest you read the book. Okay, and also you may want to watch James Clearing some of his videos.
Thank you, Ariel. Rix Germino also asks the same, probably when is the next, or when is the next event. We have this career crash course events normally for our Thursdays, but we do have a very important webinar also tomorrow that I'm going to promote. It's like an application of the habits that uh, Ariel mentioned a while ago. This is actually a program which is bouncing forward opportunities in the new normal. This is a program that actually is going to help you if you have challenges, especially in these pandemic times. And this is going to be presented by none other than the co-founder of CCG, Miss Olivia Fernandez Bernabe. She's a great leader and mentor in a business, a very successful business owner who has achieved different levels in her area of industry, and she has helped a lot of people. So if you are here for the first time, ask your friend, and if you could also join tomorrow's event. This is also at 8 o'clock. This is going to be in Zoom and YouTube. And is it okay if we could have a few words also from Olive tonight? Hi, Olive.
Hi, good evening to everybody. I suppose everybody can hear me, right, Jonel? First of all, I'd like to. Well, I'm Olive. I'm the co-founder of Sister G, that organizes the career crash course that you just watched tonight, and which we do every Thursday, sharing books, our reflections, our how we're impacted by books and how we apply the books in our lives so that we can grow to be the best that we can be. And I congratulate all of you, especially those who are here for the first time, because you've spent about an hour and you've joined this community, testing around, trying to look around and feel around. And our common denominator is we just love to learn. We know that the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know anything yet. It's just amazing how books can impact us. And so we're a community that believes in being the best that we can be. And tomorrow is another phase of developing ourselves, but in the area of entrepreneurship, in the area of growing to other dimensions in life outside of what you're doing, perhaps as a career or as a job. And tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about opportunities in the new normal, what's happening now to us, what are we facing, and what are the silver linings. It's going to be a powerful sharing event tomorrow, which will be about 40-45 minutes. And I'm eager to be able to share this with you. I invite you all to join us tomorrow for another powerful learning event at 8 p.m. See you then. Thank you. Back to you, John L.
Thank you very much, Olive, for that short message. And again, I'd like everyone to look at the screen or the slide. That's the maybe you could do a screenshot so you would know the ID, and also better get back to the person who invited you to this event so that you can learn more about the other events and especially tomorrow's event. So with that, everyone, I'd like to greet everyone a pleasant evening. You've been a great audience, and I'll see you in the next webinar. Thank you very much.